Alrighty, so here we are on Canva, and I am going into looking for a Christmas background. I am choosing the background from the photos. I found this pink background that I like, rotating it 90 degrees, expanding it on our canvas here, centering, trying to make sure I get a little bit of all of the sides for the design. Going back into the elements, and I am going to look for a kind of like a frosted border to overlay on top of this background. So as you see, I checked for a Christmas border, and I got a little bit more specific and looked for a white one. I'm going down again through, this time going through the graphics rather than the photos. And I find this really nice white kind of snowflakey border, and I am going to overlay it over the design, also having to rotate it 90 degrees and just placing it right on top of our original design here. Now I'm going to go back and I am going to look for kind of like another border, but using it as a frame. Didn't really see anything too much that I liked, so I just found just a vertical border, not a border that goes all the way around. So the border I select is kind of like this white laced border, and I'm going to go into the effects, do a dual tone, check the custom dual tone, and I'm going to change the tone of it. So there's two colors that you can pick. Both colors that I'm going to select are going to be kind of in that fuchsia hot pink colors. As you see, I just slide down to the pink, pick a bright pink color, and I've changed the color of the laced little vertical border, expanding it. I will duplicate it and just try to line them up together. There you go. And so now let's go ahead back into the elements, and I am going to select a Christmas name tag. You see, I just kind of adjusted a little bit, really didn't measure the size that I want this spot for, but as I mentioned, I'll go back and I'm going to go get me a Christmas name tag. Finding a name tag, just something real cute and simple. Okay, has more of a lavender tone to it. And at first I try it up here in the right corner. I go ahead and find the pre-made text, taking this one and going to get the quick font, removing the win, and just go ahead and edit. I use my daughter's name, Destiny, reduce the size and add it up here to the name tag. I was going to try to do like a Times New Roman for like the to and the from. I really didn't like the way it looked next to the this particular font here, so I went ahead and I took it back, and if you see, it says Fine Day 1 is the font that I was using. I didn't like the way the Times New Roman looked next to it, so I used the Fine Day font for just the whole name tag, using it for the to and the from. And I did do each word separately this way that I can kind of set it up the way I want it to, line up my colons. And there you see, I'm just adding the from, bringing it over, and I try to continue on at this point and go ahead and go to a new element where I would go and get a snowman. These little borders here, I think I kind of fidgeted with them a few times just to try to line them up, get them to just look right. They seem a little off to me, but I just proceeded anyway. So I went ahead, added a snowman, trying to stick with the color theme of pink and white. Find a snowman that just matches what I'm looking for, still going into graphics. I found this cute little rustic little snowman here. And as I think about it, I say, you know what, let's move the snowman. Instead of making this a vertical jumbo card, I decide to make the card horizontal. And so I go ahead and still fidgeting with that little frame that I'm going to use for placement of our of the little snacks or treats that I'm going to put on the cards. I went ahead and aligned them some more, as you see. As I mentioned, I then take this snowman and I'm going to move my snowman to the bottom. Before moving the snowman, I have to move my name tag. So I go and I select multiple. It didn't take the first time, so I go back to select multiple. And I have to tap all 4 different fonts, reducing the measurements for 2. This way that I'm able to actually touch all 4 words. I've selected them all as well as the name tag and grouped it all into one image. This way I'm able to move everything in one smooth process. Lord, do you see I'm still messing with that little frame? Here I am rotating the snowman, bringing it back down as I was mentioning before. I bring it down, I go back into my elements, and I am going to select presents. Just looking for some little pink presents to place in the upper right corner there. It will be the lower right corner once I rotate the card and actually print it out. But as of now, the way we're watching the video, this is the upper right corner that I am going to place these pink presents into. Just looking for a small batch of presents that kind of match what I'm looking for. Nothing too big. I select this small bunch here with the 4, putting it exactly at 90 degrees, putting it in my corner. And I think at this point I am pretty satisfied with my design. As you see, those little frames, something about them, I probably should have just removed them altogether, but I went for it anyway, still messing with them. They are centered, they are lined up. Typically, if you see the 2 lines that pop up on the side, not just in the middle, it means that they are perfectly aligned. I went ahead and I raised it up, something about bringing it to all the way to 3. I don't know why I don't do it. This is page 2 for me, so I put it for page 2, or at that point I'd use the current page. I downloaded it to my device. In this case, this would have been to my phone. This is me going into the Dollar Tree just to show you the item being purchased. So I went ahead and got some black foam board, $1.25. You know, everything in the Dollar Tree now has gone up. So $1.25 foam board. All I needed was the 1. I don't show, but I also do get a 10 pan, and that pan has a clear shell, like a covering on it that allowed me to use as the cover for this this jumbo card. I uploaded the design into Silhouette. I do have the business edition here, but I am just using the regular print design tab here, so you do not have to have the business edition for this. I was using 8.5 by 11 paper, so I first measured it at 8 by 11. It was a little longer than the print lines there, so I went ahead and I just reduced the length, or as it shows as the height there, it went to about 10.5. So the design is measured at 8 by 10.5. I went ahead and printed. I have printed using my Epson 2800. I used the preferences of just regular paper size. I used photo paper Glossy. Not too many settings when you use the 2800. But I did go ahead and print it. As you see, it is printing out on my glossy paper. It is actually a glossy sticker paper. I believe this particular brand is the HTV. Is that how you say HTV Ront? It is the glossy sticker paper that I did get. I got it off of Amazon for a pack of 100. Again, just waiting for it to finish printing out. And once it prints, then we will get it over to our kitchen island where we will actually assemble the card. And just a little patience there as it prints. Almost done. Okay, so now that it has finally printed, I got my foam board, I got my sticker paper, and as you can see, the sticker paper is kind of on the treats. I got everything from the Dollar Tree. Nice little glossy finish there. I know it's hard to see here, but what I did was I peeled back the back of the sticker paper. So this is just the regular backing on the paper. I am not trying to make this a hard cut, so I place it right on the corner of the foam board. So it is on the corner. This way I only need to make 2 cuts, and I already have a clean edge from the bottom in that left hand corner there. So just trying to smooth it out. Rearrange my phone to kind of show you. I am just smoothing out the sticker paper. Just instead of peeling the back all the way off, I am kind of rolling it down to allow the sticker paper to lay flat on the foam board here. So it is now placed onto the foam board, and at this point I probably should have just cut it off to work that way, but I wasn't that bright in the process, and you will see what I mean. So I am showing you, or taking out, the little items that I was going to place into the plastic covering here. So this is the gold tray, Dollar Tree gold tray, rectangular tray. It came with the cover. And that's the part that I'm using, keeping the gold tray for something else, but I'm just going to use the plastic covering. And so here's the covering, just showing some of the items. I didn't want to use the little Sour Patch. I thought it would be too big and too bulky. So I have some gummy bears that we're adding. I have a little nail file, a little small little set. My daughter's only 8, so it's not like it was anything that was too fancy that had to be in here for her. She will enjoy it either way you look at it. So I just opened up the pack, took those out so that the covering would not take up too much space. and just kind of playing the rearrange game. So placing it inside, trying to see what will make it work better. I found a little nail polish, 2 colors. It was a Wicked theme, pink and green. So I'm going to put the nail polish inside. I had 2 little blow pops. I found a bag of blow pops, gave me about 6 or 7 blow pops for $1.25. I just gave her 2 of the blow pops, cute little press-on nails, adding it to the pack, and I believe that was all that I added. Nothing again too fancy. Everything in there cost me at an amount of maybe $6 to go inside here. Again, the board $125, a sheet of paper out of a pack of 100. I mean, you're only talking maybe about a quarter, $1 the most, if anything. So this whole project is less than $10. Using my hot glue, and this is where I made that comment about the probably should have cut the board off first, because now that I have the hot glue in this container, and since the foam board is still on, I am going to kind of, as you'll see, kind of struggle with flipping it over rather than placing the board on top of this container. And again, I'm saying that because, hey, I'd rather tell you my mistakes than actually, give you some lie and it doesn't work out well. As you see, I flip it over and some of my stuff kind of falls out. Mind you, I've already applied this hot glue. So I am trying to rearrange it before the hot glue cools off, and now I have all this bulky glue and it messes up my glossy paper. In this case, I did not fumble too bad. I was able to salvage it, get it all in there, and the hot glue still stuck. So at this point, I am just pushing down around the perimeter of this plastic container, and I am pushing all the hot glue in. It seems to be working really well. I'm just pushing it all down. I thought I needed to add a little bit more glue here because it felt like the glue had already dried up. But when I went back to push it or to lift it, it was actually adhered to the photo paper, so I did not have to apply any more hot glue. At this point, I am just going to use a box cutter just to cut right along the perimeter of the sticky paper, going straight down on the long side, rotating it some, and I know you can't really see, but I am just cutting on that shorter side of the sticker paper there. I used 2 cuts and went ahead and began to lift. Did not like the way it was lifting on that side, and so I went back to cut again. And after cutting, it did separate really nicely. A little frilled side there, so I just kind of went back and just removed some of those pieces off the side. And voila, there is your jumbo card. This is a 8x11 jumbo card. And the process was fairly simple. I mean, if you don't have everything on hand, you can go straight to the Dollar Tree. Glossy sticker paper makes it easier to lay it down. But other than that, thank you.